Hello everyone, yesterday on 29 July 2020, Union Ministry of HRD released the notification related to the National Education Policy 2020. This, according to me, was a very important step for changing the current education system because it had many flaws. It did not encourage the research-based approach. It did not encourage real life-based learning approach. It only encouraged theoretical rote learning, ratta approach. So I feel this is a very important initiative, and in this video let's talk about the history of national education policy, the salient features of this policy. Also, we will talk about some views and counter views related to this policy, and finally I'll tell my opinion. While talking about the history of national education policy, let us consider four events. First, it was in 1968 when Indira Gandhi government introduced the national education policy. Then in 1986, Rajiv Gandhi government came and it introduced the next national education policy. In 1992, P.V. Narasimha Rao tried to change a bit, but the national education policy was more or less the same. And now the Modi government in 2020 has released the new national education policy notification. There are a lot of minute details in this new notification. I have not covered everything, but I have covered almost each and every important feature in this new system, where first important feature to note here is the 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 system. Earlier it was a 10 plus 2 system in which students were supposed to complete the first 10 years of their schooling, then give the 10th board exam, then again 2 years of schooling and 12th board exam, and finally they do their graduation. But in this new system, the schooling is divided into 4 parts. First is the foundational stage. Here there are the students of age 3 to 8 years. It encompasses the mini KG, junior KG, senior KG, first standard and second standard. And here there are small kids. They will be learning from multi-level play activity, and there will be also a focus on development of language skills. So basically small kids are given the learning based on their little play activities. Second stage is the preparatory stage. In this there will be 8 to 11 years kids. It will encompass 3rd, 4th and 5th standards. Here there will be a focus on play, discovery, activity based and interaction based classroom learning. Also there will be development of language and numeracy skills. There will be focus on cognitive ability. Now the medium of instruction till the preparatory stage, that is till 5th standard, is going to be in the regional language. Also students will be supposed to choose 3 languages. Next they will enter into the middle stage or the classes 6th, 7th, 8th. Here it will be a completely different world for them. They will be introduced to coding, vocational courses and social sciences, humanities, maths and arts. So this will be more into the critical learning aspect rather than the rote learning aspect. Next will be the secondary stage. It will encompass the 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. This will be a multidisciplinary study and students will be given option to pick the subjects whichever they want. Here I want to highlight the fact that earlier it was given 3 options. Whenever a student passes 10th standards, he is supposed to choose either arts, commerce or science. And a science student cannot study the political science subject, and the art student is not supposed to study the physics. In this new format, if I want to study physics and political science and economics and maybe dance, they all will be evaluated. He can choose whichever he wants. Now that I have explained the schooling format, let's discuss about the graduation format. The graduation format is of 4 years with multiple exit options. First year is the diploma. For instance, if someone wants to exit the graduation in first year itself, then he will be awarded the degree of diploma. If he completes 2 years of graduation and then leaves, then he will be awarded the advanced diploma degree. If someone wants to just complete the bachelor's for a job, or someone wants to complete bachelor's just to apply for exam like UPSC, then he will be given option to collect the bachelor's degree in third year itself, and the fourth year will be completely dedicated for research. If someone completes the whole 4 years, then he will be awarded the degree with research. The next interesting feature here is the academic bank of credit. In the sense, if someone quits in first year after taking that diploma degree, and after 2-3 years he feel like, yes, I want to join the college again, then he can directly jump on to second year. He need not overstart from the first year. So there will be a bank of credits. For those who don't know about credit system, in engineering or in any bachelor degree, we are supposed to collect credits. If we get that certain amount of credits, then we are awarded that degree. So in first year you have collected some credits. These credits are deposited in academic credit bank account, and from second year onwards you can continue with that amount of credits, and if you feel you can again leave in second year, again after some years you can join in third year, like that. And whenever the bank account is full, the credits are at par, then you will get that bachelor's degree. Next is about the master's degree. In the new system, the students are given option that they can collect the master's degree in 1 year itself, and second year of master's, same as bachelor's, is completely dedicated to research. If he completes the master degree in 2 years, then he will be given the master's degree with research. There are also other updates, such as the UGC or the AICTE, such national level bodies will be dissolved, and there will be a new body of HEC or the Higher Education Commission. Now there will also be the change in the name of HRD Ministry. It will be renamed as Education Ministry. Next very important fact is that private institutions will have a cap on their fee. In the sense, they cannot extend their fees as much as they want. There will be a certain amount of cap. Also, the next thing is that right to education is extended from 14 years till 18 years. Now everyone till 18 years has the right to education. Also, one of the important things to note here is that earlier the exams were on 10th and 12th. Now the exams will be held on 3rd, 5th and 8th standards, and these exams will be some other format based on experimental approach more, in the sense there will be more MCQs and such things rather than just rote learning based approach. The exams will be. First is that it provides flexibility. Earlier we were restricted on either science, arts or commerce, but now the student will be given option to choose whichever subject he wants. Then this will be a research oriented system, because as I told, the fourth year will be completely dedicated to research. Also from 6th standard itself, students will be given chance to opt for coding, vocational training, etc. So third is the life oriented learning approach. Earlier a boy used to read the current electricity chapter, then he used to solve those problems of resistors, inductors, capacitors, and finally he used to give the exam and pass. That's all. But according to me, what I grasp from this system is that if he learns current electricity, he will be able to fix that bulb as well in your home. Now let us talk about the challenges. First challenge is the implementation. India is a huge country, and implementation of some new policy is one of the toughest jobs to do in India. Also, we all know how the practical exams are conducted in schools and colleges. Almost everyone gets out of marks in practical exams. So there is a big question mark how these exams are going to be conducted. We are talking that these exams will provide us more practical exposure, but instead may student not get more lazy because of free marks in practical exams. The next challenge is the infrastructure. We are talking about providing vocational courses across all India from 6th standard itself. Do we have the infrastructure for it? In my opinion, I welcome this new system. I love this system in which students are given flexibility to choose whatever they want. If they want political science, they can choose political science. If they want physics, political science, economics, and dance, they can take everything in, and they will be graded for it. But here lies the challenge of implementation. But if the government implements it correctly, then let me tell you that according to me, this is going to be the biggest revolution in the history of India, because the school level education depicts the growth of country. His grade sheet or mark sheet will include not just the marks in academics, it will include holistic approach, or each and every aspect will be included in the mark sheet. There are some important points which I missed out while making this video. First is that government will allot 6% of GDP instead of 4.4% of GDP for the education ministry. Now this according to me is a welcome move, but India should also focus on increasing its GDP itself, so that the percentage allotted will serve more amount of magnitude of money. Second is regarding the implementation of the scheme. Government has a plan to implement this whole scheme slowly till 2040 with collaboration of the states. Third is that the MPhil program will be scrapped. And fourth is regarding the emphasis on mother tongue. The policy clearly states that the kids will be taught in their mother tongue wherever possible, and teachers will be encouraged to use bilingual approach as far as the problems related to the transferable working professional are concerned. So what do you think? Is this a good move? Whether promoting regional languages instead of English is a good move or not? Please comment in the comment box. I hope I was able to cover each and every aspect of the whole national education policy. Still, if I have missed some point, you can comment in the comment box. Also, if you found this video informative or interesting, please share it with your friends, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Jai Hind.